Hey y'all, I'm Sherilyn, and this is Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead, and I want to take you on a garden tour. It's like June 13th or so, and I want to show you what all's growing. There's so many changes. I love it. Come on, let's go. I'm starting over here, and this by the back door. The sweet potato vine you've seen in past videos. Look at this ornamental sweet potato vine. It's looking so pretty. Our flowers are doing well. We've got some more sweet potato coming up here in this bed. And I've taken from here and taken clippings and cultivated sweet potatoes. Okay, I want to hop in here real quick and just show you the sweet potato slip. Now you can grow sweet potatoes from slips. You can grow them on potatoes in the windowsill and pick the slips. You can bury your potatoes, pick the slips. You can put them in a cool, dark place, pick the slips off, or you can just take cuttings. Now, I'm really praying that this works as fast as taking the slips off the potatoes, but we'll see. Look at this. These are the black-eyed peas. I cannot believe how big they've gotten. These things have gotten huge. I got these seeds year before last at Baker Creek rareseeds.com, and they grew pretty good. Now they've acclimated to my area in my yard. We got some good topsoil, and look at this. It's like a sea of green. It's beautiful. I love it. These are going to give us some black-eyed peas. These are California cow peas from rareseeds.com, Baker Creek. They haven't started budding up yet, but they will really soon. Now this little cucumber vine on this trellis is struggling a little bit. We've had some aphids, but let me show you this. There's one little guy trying to grow down here, and there's one growing right there, and the end is a little bit weird. But he looks nice and strong, so I'm just going to let him grow. We got these in a little late. We've had some aphid damage. See these little spots? You see that ant? They're bringing these teeny, tiny little aphids. We're going to have to spray again. There's some right there. You can see them. They're almost the same color as the plant. Right there. I hate aphids. They're so nasty. Alright, let's go over here and see what we see. And here we have the trellis that enters into the keyhole garden. Remember this trellis that broke? It's going to have to be replaced next season because we already have stuff growing in here. The squash that we've been spraying the milk solution on for the powdery mildew is doing pretty good. I still see a little bit of discoloration, but other than that, it hasn't spread to anything else. We've been getting a few caterpillars off of this thing, and I'm coming out every day and checking for worms and caterpillar poop, and I'm not seeing any right now. They may be there, but I'm not seeing it. I'm standing underneath the trellis that goes into the keyhole garden, and if you can look up, you will see the vines have reached the top. I've seen some beautiful little blooms. We'll soon be having beautiful dangling red noodle beans. Here's some of those blooms I was telling you about. Pretty soon, right here, where this bloom is, we'll start seeing some beans. In this garden, we flame torched all the weeds. And we put new soil in here. And this I call the keyhole garden because it's a keyhole garden. And let's look, we have some pretty little zinnia flowers coming up. Pretty soon this whole area will be full of flowers. I brought some vincas, some call them periwinkles, from the nursery. They're beautiful and they're long-lasting perennial, but they just don't draw the pollinators, and I'm not sure, I don't think that they have that, you know, stuff the pollinators like. But they last forever and ever. You can see them right back there. And I planted them over a year ago, and I never do anything to that garden. They just spread and they're so pretty. And in here we have zinnias all about, and some marigolds. There's the zinnias coming up, some marigolds coming up. I planted jester marigolds. They're beautiful burgundy and yellow stripe, and I can't wait to see those. That's going to be so pretty. We've enjoyed watching so many birdies enjoy the bird bath. And along here we have on the headboard, I put a video up about putting that headboard in, but along here we have a sunflower mix and some zinnias that are going to come up. Evidence of a young child. Look at the in-ground garden. This is our okra. This okra is growing so well right here at the front of the garden. This okra is growing so well. This is Perkins Long Pod from Baker Creek. And these two beds right here that are growing the best are the ones that I put the rabbit manure on last season for the cool weather crops. I need to get some rabbits. For sure. Look at these, y'all. Look. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Zinnias are like my favorite flower. They're like flowers within flowers. Let me take you in for a closer look. Look at this. It's like flowers within flowers. They're gorgeous. And if we pan around back here, I haven't covered this structure yet. Let's go look at that. Now, I put out the video about the shade tunnel, but I never mentioned really this, I don't believe. This is just another cattle panel with some old window screen on it. And talk about free stuff. I already have the cattle panel. I already have the screen. And I put it over here to make a seed starting station here in South Florida. We don't need no greenhouses. The whole state is a greenhouse. It's hot. And then I thought, you know, I need a nice shady spot to start some seeds. A place where they can get the sunshine but not be scorched. This is especially good during summer and fall. So like when you want to get your winter crops in, your cool weather crops, a lot of that stuff, you know, you want to start the seeds way before. It'd be nice to have a nice shady spot. Let me take you in here and show you what's going on. I just took this cattle panel. Now I have a privacy fence. And on the privacy fence there are 4x4s every 8 feet. So I braced this between the 4x4. I held it in with a U-nail. And it comes up and around and down. And then I just use zip ties to put the screen on here. Now from the tree we cut down in the front, I had some limbs and logs. So I use this to make some little growing areas under here. I'll show you those plants in a minute. But look at this, y'all. This is my seed starting table. I am in love with this. Now my mom tells stories of her dad. And he died when she was 15, so I never got to meet him. And he wasn't very well. He had some major surgeries, and he was disabled. But she told stories of how before that he and my grandmother went into the woods in Tennessee and they cut down logs and they built a house from the ground up. I mean, really? That's so amazing to me. And then she told stories about how her dad would take junk, just things that people threw away, and he would make the most beautiful things with it to sell or to build the house, to build the home. And I just love that idea. So I tried to tap into that a little bit. I was out there looking at that pile of logs, and I knew all I had was this wire closet shelf. And I wanted to somehow make a little table to go in here to put trays of, you know, little seed starts or little seedlings. And I was thinking, you know, oh God, how am I going to do this? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to tap into that family blessing. And I built this thing in like 15 minutes. So I just thank you, Grandpa Lon, for being such a creative person. And I'm glad that some of your blood flows in my veins. I found some limbs that were just about the right height that I wanted. I buried the bottom of them in the ground. And I found a little 1x4 here. I took this old wire closet rack that had fallen down in my house, and I just put it against, I put a 2x6 down here, right on top of, see, right on top of the fence railing. And I had this, it's old, it was going to get thrown out. And I thought, let me use it while it's still usable. I put some U-nails here to hold that in place. And then I put these screws right here through this 1x4 into the post. And there you have it. I have a really pretty rustic looking seed starting table that I'm in love with. It's so beautiful. Now let's see what's growing in here. I had to go into Walmart, and I noticed, I said, if I have to be here, I'm going to the garden section. And I noticed they still had tomato starts out. This one's called Heat Master. And it says that it endures hot, humid climates. So I got one of those. And this one is called Somerset. And it also says that it is heat tolerant and that it endures hot, humid weather. And look at here. These potatoes from the Ruth Stout bed just keep coming back. I got two little new potatoes out of there yesterday. The sweet potatoes keep coming back. Look at that. Now I'm sitting out here by the shade tunnel, and I just want to, before I take you in to show you guys what's sprouting in there, I just want to put this disclaimer out there. I told you guys that we would be doing carrots, and I did sow carrots. And I really hope that that's what sprouted. But let's go take a look. Now in this bed, I put the carrot seeds down. I wet the ground thoroughly, then I put the carrot seeds down, and then I covered them with cardboard for 5 days. I've heard that's what you're supposed to do. And some of them have come out really lanky, very leggy, and I'm not sure if that's what it's going to look like, if it's going to get better, if that's what it's supposed to look like. Some of them are starting to stand up, and some of them are starting to sprout with stronger little stems. So here's hoping, guys, that these tropical carrots will grow. I'm bound and determined to find as many things that will grow here in South Florida as I can. Things that I like to eat, things that are good for canning and preserving, and so we can be more sustainable, because our food system is very broken. And I'd much rather pick something out of my garden and know it was grown organically, know where it came from, know where the seeds came from, know that everything is responsibly sourced and responsibly grown. Now let's look at what else is sprouting in there. Here I started 4 of the little Roma tomatoes, and I don't see anything here yet, but one is in the back. You're going to have to look really close to see it, but look, this is amaranth. See that tiny little red thing? This is the variegated vegetable amaranth. We've started collards here, and they have not sprouted yet. I don't see anything. I could be missing it. Over here at the end we have Lago spinach, which is a tropical spinach. And let me put my finger here so you can see. Right there. This is Lago spinach. And over here, I did those Roma tomatoes, put a few seeds in the four corners, and there these have popped up. The others have not, so. My new garden motto is, why not try it? The worst I can do is kill it, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? You never know unless you try, right? Now here is the new garden area. I'm just loving this. I like this new little welcome sign. Let's go on in. Oh, look. Look, y'all. Look. Isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh. That's gonna be beans. It's gonna be Chinese red noodle beans. I'm so excited. I'm whispering because my neighbors are right over there. As you come in under the trellis, and I just love my neighbor's flagpole. That's so pretty. As you come in under the trellis, that will soon be covered with beautiful long beans. Come here. This is the eggplant bed. My eggplant seedlings died when we had all the rain. There's more blossom magic here in this bed, and it makes me so happy. I'm just weird, y'all. I get so happy when I see this stuff happening. Behind me here is the sweet potato bed. These are the sweet potatoes that I clipped off that one vine, 2 vines, that volunteered, and I started in water in a little jar in my windowsill. Look how many sweet potatoes we have. I got these in the beginning of June, and so I'm gonna leave them in till mid or late October. That'll give them a good 6 months. In Florida, if you get your sweet potatoes in earlier, you can start harvesting from about August. I got a late start. I won't even go into all the reasons why we got a late start because I'd just be repeating myself. But hopefully by October, this bed will be overflowing with gorgeous vines, and even in the meantime, we can eat these leaves. I'm not gonna eat these, they're little. But when they start to vine out and get really pretty, you can throw them in a salad. It'll be great. And here's some of the okra. I started this from seedlings. They're doing really good. Look at this. I had a cranberry hibiscus plant. It's an edible, a member of the hibiscus family, related to sorrel. And it dropped seeds, and they're everywhere. I'm gonna have to dig these up and pot them. There's some zinnias. I have a new growth on my rose bush. I picked this little guy up. I don't even know what it's called. I picked it up in the clearance section. It was pitiful, but it's starting to come back. Some more okra. Now these have spottier leaves. They're not doing as good as the other ones, so I'm gonna have to come in here and really hit this with the fish fertilizer. See, they're even stunted down this way. But over here, I put this up yesterday, and this is just some 6-foot welded metal fencing. And in here we'll have the yard-long beans, and on the back side I have more cowpeas. Those came from the Echo Quick Tropical Garden. More zinnias, more cowpeas. And I started some of that Lagos spinach here. You can see it a little bit bigger. Not all of it has sprouted. There it is. And a stray bean. Now these are multicolored, 4 varieties of the black-eyed peas. I'm eager to see what they look like. And the fluffy butt hut. these girls are hungry, so I better wrap up this video. I'm going to feed the chickens, and I will see y'all later. Bye. What's up, girls? Hello, my lovelies. Got to take care of my chickens, because chickens make me happy.